Look at James. He's
Oh,
already
you
got
guys don't like Tony Robbins?
documentaries out the gate.
Half and half, man. I think my opinion on Tony Robbins is he really, I don't know, he's turned self-help into a really commercialized thing. It just,
Yeah. He's getting the call outs. He's getting the call outs. I'm not sure where you guys are at. That's where I was saying, what's the line for you? Like, where do you go? Like, this is the step too far.
It's a good point. I think this is like a debate that's really worth having, especially in like the topic that we talk about, like the whole thing. Like, where do you really draw a line between this is fine and this isn't? Like, I don't know. And this is something that I actually like have had in my head since making the fake guru video, and even like when I started watching your videos, Stephen, it's like always been the thing in my head is like, well, what part of it becomes good marketing and it's just the standard marketing, and then what part of it becomes deceptive and like this is where you've gone too far? Like, so maybe sometimes it's easy to draw those lines, but then there's other times where it's almost like kind of I don't really know.
Okay,
like
I've thought about this a lot. I was just talking to a marketer about this, and we were trying to hash it out. So I don't think there's any great like hard rules that you could define every single piece of marketing by, but there are like a lot of ways, like rules of thumb. I don't know if that's an expression in the UK, like rule of thumb.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay. So here's how I think about it. Imagine that the customer knew what you knew about your own product. Would they feel lied to in the marketing? So let's say I watch a Verizon ad. They say they're the best. And then I watch a T-Mobile ad. They say they're the best. And then I watch a Sprint ad. They say they're the best. You end up finding at the end of the day, they're all kind of good at something. Well, you know, maybe not T-Mobile, but they're all kind of good at something and whatever. It's like you don't feel that lied to. Or Pepsi versus, you know, Coke. It's like kind of you feel fine. But some of these ads, they're lying to you in such a way that the entire point is to deceive you into thinking one thing and the truth is something completely different. And you would feel completely lied to. You'd feel betrayed. That's bad marketing. A lot of these gurus, for example, they say you're going to make $10,000 overnight. They know that the truth is not that. And so you would feel lied to if you knew that. But if it's like classic marketing puffery where they go, yeah, like we say all the time, like, you know, like this is the best podcast in the world. Yeah, I think that. But is it true? I don't know. Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, probably, definitely, yes. But
yes, it is. Yeah. So that's
know,
actually allowed to say, but
we're allowed to say that.
Suck, don't say it. Fair.
So yeah. What do you think about that? I mean, like as a rule of thumb, that's a way to think about it.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, I always wonder that here's another side of like another thing that I've always been thinking since I did the fake guru video, which is like how many of like the gurus believe like drink their own Kool-Aid, and how many of them do think that they've got something that's a little shady going on?
Yeah, well, they brainwash in and then they're bought in. So then half the time, I don't know if they're making money. Not half the time, but I think some of them they're in debt to the next guy up, and then they got to get you signed up to pay that. You know what I mean? Like they're always trying to get. In Trump University, it was like that. They had a bunch of students who were really good at sales, but they were like 40 grand in with them. So they're like, I got to make my money back, so I got to sign you up. You know?
A lot of times, especially with like salesmen, it doesn't enter the like equation. And is what I'm saying true? It's like, oh, this is what I've been told to say. So right. I think at the lower levels, people don't really know because they don't really ask questions. Like I think about when I sold houses, I was like, did new home sales. And I just said what our marketing team told me to say about our houses. I had no idea if it was true. Like I had no idea if it was accurate that we had such and such eco rating. I didn't know if it was accurate that, you know, we were actually coming through on our 10-year, whatever, Texas home warranty, you know, all that stuff. But I just said it. Now at the top, I think the people know whether what they're doing is lying or not lying, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's really so I think if you look at someone like, for example, like Dan Locke, I think he knows that there's probably some like shady stuff that he's been doing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But then there's just some people that I just wonder, like, I don't know, do they realize that it's deceptive marketing? Or because you're in your own bubble. Like I really think that a lot of gurus are in their own bubble where you're constantly getting positive feedback from people either buying the course and then leaving great reviews. Like I don't think there's too many, like the people that don't do good, and this is it almost builds itself into a perfect trap, I guess, where if you do the course and it hasn't worked, you've already got the excuse in your head that says, oh, like it was my fault, I didn't work hard enough.
Yep.
And therefore, like, it negates any blame to the actual guy who sold you the course.
Correct.
Some cases that could be true, like it could be that you didn't work hard enough, but in some cases you were given like that kind of marketing that made you believe this thing was going to be a far easier game. And I said this in the Fake Guru video, in like the I think it was in the pinned comment that I did, because I didn't get to say in the actual video, because what a lot of gurus will do is they'll have like a 3-hour webinar, and like the hours of the webinar is spent saying how easy it's going to be and framing it in this way, and then they'll have like they'll slap in like 2 sentences that say, oh, but like this is super hard and I want only committed people to this.
Oh yeah,
And
it's at the very bottom, and it goes, actually, all those things I said about how easy it is, it's all not true. It's all they call it aspirational. Aspirational claims.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. I think a lot of them are in like their own bubble that to even recognize that you're doing something a little shady is maybe tough for some.
Yeah, I
James,
think. Go ahead, Amish.
I was gonna say, weren't you saying in one of the videos, and I've noticed this in my life too, where people will get scammed and then they almost feel too embarrassed to themselves to admit that they're scammed, so they're like, no, it's good. Like, we know a lot of ex-MLMers,
Absolutely, yes,
that are just too embarrassed. They can't say it.
It's cognitive dissonance in your brain. You go, I'm not a sucker, but I got scammed. So
I got
one of those is not.
pills,
One of those
I'll
is
make the money back.
Yeah, one of those is not true, right?
Yeah.
One of those is it's like incompatible. And so instead of saying I got scammed, they go, oh, well, I'm a smart guy, so it must have been a good learning experience. When in reality, you just shouldn't have done it, and it's fine. That's why we preach no shame. If you got scammed, it's okay. Just come on.
Talk to us about it.
Talk to us.
Hear about it. Talk to us. Get it out so that other people can hear and they don't feel so shitty about it too, you know?
Dude,
That's another thing, yeah. I even have like comments, especially on the MLM video, I got this a lot, where people were saying, yeah, but like there's some good parts of MLM. Like when I did it, I got into like self-development and it helped my life, which I think, yeah, that's like one thing that can be good from it. Like it can get you into like improving yourself as a person. But did you need to go through the MLM path to do that, really? Do you know what I mean? And like, I feel like a lot of it is used in a way, like even law of attraction has like its good thing of like, you know, positive thinking in general is like a good thing, right? It's generally that's good advice. Yeah. But it can be used in a way where you start to lock a person into like blaming themselves if things go wrong.
100%. Yeah. Well, you talked about like that's part of the forced positivity in like a lot of self-help stuff. And it's so true, man. It does get so toxic where they treat positivity as a religion instead of a tool. Positivity is a tool to kind of let yourself think long-term, right? Things aren't going well now, but because I'm positive, I can ignore the pain and I can ignore signals that if you're going to be successful, you kind of have to ignore, right? That's an important part about being positive when you're starting a business and you're not succeeding.
I mean, it's a vague term too. Like you can just reinvent positive for yourself.
But hold on. My point though is that where you take it too far is you say, I can never assess the situation as is because I must always ignore reality and instead replace this vision that somebody else has handed to me. That's where it gets really toxic, and that's where you see the predatory side of the self-help, where instead of, you know, I'm not doing good. I haven't been doing good for 15 years because the system is set up for me to fail at MLM, and I can't address it because I have this positivity like sickness.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a place to hide their issues, I guess. Like this guy goes, he's taking these keratin pills from the MLM company, and he's like, I don't need my glasses anymore. And I'm like, what? You don't need your glasses anymore? He said, I don't need my glasses anymore.
Oh my gosh,
like,
dude.
That's nonsense. Keratin pills from Amway.
That's
nonsense.
I literally talked to somebody, some guy in the self-development space, and he's got a bunch of, he's a huge YouTuber. And I was talking to him, I go, oh, what are you reading? Like, I'm really interested in what people are reading. And just to see what their input is. And he goes, oh, I don't read. I go, why? He goes, well, I listen to Audible sometimes, but whatever, I don't read. I said, why? He goes, well, I heard it's bad for my eyes and I'm trying to fix my eyes.
Okay.
I said, what? He goes, yeah, I took a course that said I could just fix my eyes if I didn't like read anymore and I didn't strain my eyes.
Oh.
I said, dude,
the answer is
Yeah.
it's a scam. Stop it.
It's a
And it's going to come back and bite you in the butt later, too, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I go,
Yeah.
dude, just read a book. Like, in fact, if you had read a book, you probably wouldn't be doing this in the first place. The problem is you're
Yeah,
not
that's
reading.
it.
You fall for this stuff.
Yeah. You read the books, man. But the amount of people, but talking about that positivity thing, the amount of people that take this, they would hear us and be like, you guys are being negative. Like this guy who got the keratin pills, he says, you have your negative opinion and I have my bodily facts.
Mhm.
And we're done.
Dude,
if
look at-
MLM's a scam, how come I don't need my glasses anymore?
What do you think
And
about
it-